Today, we're going to do an oil change on this 2014 Chevy Silverado. Let's get into it. So let's go over the things we're going to be using. We're going to need an oil pan to catch the oil, a funnel. I'm using oil filter pliers, but there's many tools for that. A ratchet, and then a 15mm socket. A glove to keep the oil off our hands, a rag just to keep everything clean, and then also 0W20 oil. This is what's recommended for my truck and the amount of miles it has. And here's the oil filter. First thing we need to do is pop the hood. Now on the engine block, we're going to locate the oil cap. This is a good way if you don't know what kind of oil you have, just check that, and it's usually written right on top. So removing this before draining will give us a lot better flow. Once that's removed, we need to find the oil drain plug and also the filter. We're just going to get our pan ready and take the plug out just like that. Now you can see on this oil drain plug, there's a little washer right here. This is called a crush washer, and what it does is as you tighten this down, it creates a tight seal to prevent oil from leaking. So now we're just going to let this drain all the way out. Then we're just going to reinstall the oil drain plug. We're going to use our rag to wipe up any excess oil, and then with our ratchet, we're just going to tighten it down by hand. Now you can see here I'm starting to have a little bit of trouble with this oil filter, and I tried all sorts of different angles. These pliers would just grip it, and it would just crush the can. I ended up trying all kinds of different methods. I'll show you in a second all the things that I did, but I finally got it off, and you can see this thing is absolutely destroyed. Now you look at this filter and you're like, I've never seen anything like that. I have never had a filter that got so seized on like this one before. This is the first time I did an oil change on this. I bought this from the dealership and they said they did an oil change before they gave it to me. I don't know what they did wrong, but I tried with these pliers and then I went with the wrench, which is a great tool to have because the harder you turn, the tighter it gets. That didn't work, so I used the old method of hammering a screwdriver through this and turning it, but it just shred this filter to pieces. So how I ended up getting it off, I put these 4-inch screws through here, took a pry bar and put it in between these. I started turning it while also using my pliers like this, and I had to use both of them at the same time, and it finally budged. I've had some stubborn filters in the past, but nothing like this. Let me know if you've ever seen anything like this and how you got it off. So now back to changing the oil. Let's get this filter out. We're going to fill it up just a little bit. We're going to slowly do this with a funnel just to have some oil in it before we actually put the oil in the engine. Now the last thing we want is to have another filter like the last one and get seized on. So what we need to do is take some excess oil, rub it right over the ring like this, and make it so much easier to get off on the next time. And we're just going to hand tighten it. Tightening it with your hand will be plenty tight enough. Now that we got the oil drained, the plug back in, and also the filter on, we're just going to start filling the truck up with oil. Now we're using 0W20 oil. I'm using synthetic blend, and we're also putting in 8.5 quarts. Now, of course, no matter what, you want to check the dipstick. That's the best way to check your actual level on your oil, and that is right where we want it. Good. Now, the only thing left to do is reset the engine oil life on the truck. Now, this is extremely easy on this truck. We're going to put our keys in the ignition, let it chime for a minute before we actually start it up. And after we start it up, we're going to take this little knob right here. We're going to turn it until it says engine oil life. Once we find that, we're just going to press it in one time. It's a little button. It's going to say, are you sure you want to reset? We're going to say yes. Press the button again. And just like that, it's reset. Hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, you're going to love this one right here.